Wait, I'm gonna cry. There's 20 of you guys in here. Dude, that's crazy. Oh, you're a fan translator for the offers, interviews, and volume. Oh, dude, yeah, I need to check that out. Wind Valley Peak author notes translator. Okay, hold up, hold up. Let me flex a little. Let me show my notes a little bit before we start. Sorry, I got a little emotional. I'm getting a little emotional already. We're at 705 subs. All right, I'm excited to read, man. It's been like it's almost been. I've kept you guys waiting for almost a week, man, since our last LOTM stream. But I'm ready, dude. Are you guys ready? I'm excited, dude. And again, man, 705 subs. That's such a high number. My 1 year since my first video is coming up. I think I posted it on 11/11. It was like it was my old Xbox 360 collection, so it's almost been a year. It's cool, dude. This is fun. I love you guys. All right, yeah, enough bickering, man. Let's go. Let's go. Chapter 41. Wait, I lied. Hold up. It's almost been a week. I can't forget names. Hold up. Zominguri, Klein, Klein. Oh, what's his last name? Klein. It sounds like the guy from Sherlock. Klein Moretti, Zominguri. He has his sister. Oh my god. Oh my god. The person that transmitigated before him was Roselle. He became an emperor. Moretti, thank you, Moretti. And then we have Roseanne, which was the one in her late 20s from the Nighthogs. Moretti, thank you guys, thank you, Moretti. I was about to say Rani. Thank you, Benson and Melis. Don't forget Alfred. Who was Alfred Johnson? Oh my god, what's the main guy from the Nighthawks? Oh, the Nightmare dude. Oh my, this is what happens when I don't read for 5 days. Oh my god. All right. The names will come back to me. I'm getting so mad at myself. How am I forgetting? Melissa, thank you. I knew it was Melissa. I didn't say it. We have Melissa, Benson, Klein, the Moretti siblings. We have the Nighthawks. We got the Church of the Evernight Goddess. Alfred isn't a character. You guys were trolling me. Done. Thank you, Dunn Smith, and we have the poet dude. I forget his name. Dunn Smith. We have the two professors, which I'm still thinking one of them was the guy that went in his room, where when Klein had to point the gun at him. Thank you, Dunn Smith. All right, I think we're good. I know I'm forgetting more names, but I think we're good. Okay. Now we can start chapter 41. Chapter 41 is called Audrey and Her Susie. No. Oh, we're getting the puppy already. After pouring away the coffee and returning to the armory to take the thick stack of historical materials and explanatory transcripts from Old Neil, Klein followed the wall of lights up the staircase to the Blackthorn Security Company. Tap, tap, tap. His footsteps echoed into the sealed and quiet basement. After Klein left the spiral staircase, he pushed open a door and identified his bearings before heading for the second office opposite of him. After familiarizing himself for 2 days, he had a general understanding of the layout of Blackthorn Security Company. Wow, my music is a little bit low. I should put that up. The entrance brought visitors to a huge reception hall with sofas and tables. Through the partition, there was an inner region. To the left of the corridor were 3 rooms. For the nearest to the furthest, they were Miss Oriana's account room. We've heard her. I remember hearing her voice in the game trailer, right? A restroom with a few sofa beds and a staircase that led underground. On the right were 3 rooms. From the nearest to the furthest was Captain Dunsmith's office, a civilian staff office with a typewriter, and the entrance room for formal members of the Nighthawks team. Klein had previously seen Leonard Mitchell. Oh, thank you, man. They're saying all the names I probably forgot. Klein had previously seen Leonard Mitchell playing cards with 2 other teammates in the entertainment room. He guessed that they were playing Fighting the Landlord. Of course, Emperor Rochelle had already given it a new name, Fighting Evil. However, the way it was played was identical to what Klein knew. Brett, that's a new name. Brett was entitled to a day of sleep after night shift. That was the guy that, he was the guy that took over Renzan's shift. Roseanne was at the reception desk, the carriage driver who was in charge of procuring necessities and collecting supplies. Caesar Francis was out as usual. When Klein opened the door to the civilian staff office, the 3 desks inside were empty. Only the typewriter sat there silently. Ackerson Company's model 1346 typewriter. Oh yes, we're in the 1300s. Badoon? Ain't no way I had a Badoon moment already. No? Klein, who had seen similar objects in the mentor's office in Welch Place, muttered. He felt that the complicated mechanisms inside were filled with the beauty of machinery. He walked to the desk with a typewriter. After preparing himself, he attempted to type something on air. In the beginning, he often converted the local language to Chinese pinyin instinctively. Only after he was familiar with it did he digest, I understood that reference, digest, the original Klein's corresponding memory fragments and no longer made mistakes. Tap, tap, tap. The rhythmic tapping on the typewriter sounded like a melody composed from the heavy marriage of metal and industry. Under this melody, Klein quickly typed the expenditure application. However, he was in no hurry to meet Dunsniff. Instead, he focused his mind and read the materials provided by Old Neil seriously. It was both revision and new material. When it was almost noon, he stretched his neck and put away the documents. He then read and consolidated what he had learned on the mysticism in the morning. Only after all that did he take his application to the office next door and knocked on the door gently. Dunn was waiting for lunch to be delivered when he saw Klein hand him the document. The corners of his mouth curved up. Did Old Neil teach you this? Yes. Klein did not hesitate to betray Old Neil. Dunn picked up his dark red fountain pen and signed it. I happened to be applying for funding for months of July, August, and September for the church and the police department. I'll add yours in. When it's approved, get the money from Miss Oriana. You can draw the spirit pendulum in the afternoon. All right, Klein answered simply and vigorously. His tone and eyes were obviously filled with joy. Before bidding Dunn farewell, he asked casually, shouldn't the budget for July, August, and September be applied for by June? Oh, wait, so we're in the same calendar system, right? What are you applying for July's budget? Wait, why are you applying for July's budget only in July? Dunn felt silently for a few seconds before sipping his coffee. Oh, I should make coffee. We encountered 3 cases in June. I was so busy that I forgot about it. As expected, Captain and his poor memory, Klein knew he had asked a question he should have not asked. He gave a chuckle before leaving immediately. With that, he began a simple but regular lifestyle. He would spend half an hour in the early morning cogitating. He would have 2 hours of mysticism lessons in the morning and an hour and a half of studying the historical documents. After lunch, he would take a short nap in the break room to regain his energy. Following that, he would draw bullets and head to the shooting club. After finishing his practice, he would stroll over to Welch's place, which was not too far. He would then change routes and return to the Iron Cross streets. That way, he could save on the carriage fees. If he had time, he would practice his spirit vision and spirit dowsing. Spirit vision is when he can see the spirit world, right? Or he can see their auras. And spirit dowsing, is that something new? On that way, he would buy groceries. In a private chemistry laboratory equipped with apparatuses and items, a tall blonde Audrey was looking at the cup in her hand. Oh, she put the potion together. There were countless bubbles and it made the atmosphere serene. Finally, the liquid in the cup precipitated into a sticky silver substance. Haha, I'm indeed talented in mysticism. I succeeded in one try. Look at that. I was worried of failure and prepared 2 sets of materials. The girl muttered to herself in delight. So she is doing the... Oh my god, when you're spectating, the specter, right? She's going down the spectator pathway. She put away the items she took from her family's vault or exchanged them with others. She took a deep breath and prepared to close her eyes to drink down the spectator potion. At that moment, barking sounded from outside the laboratory. Audrey frowned instantly. She hid the cup of silver liquid in a dark corner, turned around and headed to the door. Susie, who's here? Audrey turned the doorknob and asked the golden retriever sitting in front of her. Oh, my first puppy was a golden retriever. I love Susie. Susie wagged her tail in obsequious manner. Her personal maidservant Annie, ooh, new character, Annie had appeared in the corridor nearby. Audrey walked out of the laboratory and closed the door. She looked at Annie and said, "Didn't I tell you, do not disturb me when I'm running chemistry experiments?" A vexed Annie answered, "But there's an invitation from the Duchess, what? Duchess? But there's an invitation from the Duchess, comma, Duchess Della, Duck Negan's wife." Audrey took a few steps forward and asked Annie. Yes, she managed to hire the services of Palace Baker's Madame Vivi. Oh man, I'm playing FF9 right now. I love Vivi. Such a good character. And plans to invite you and Madam to afternoon tea. Annie recounted the invitation. Audrey tapped her cheeks discreetly and said, "Tell my mother that I have a headache. Perhaps I'm a little dehydrated because of the scorching sun. Please get her to convey my apologies to Madame Della." As she spoke, she acted frail. "Miss, it's not only afternoon tea, but literature salon," added Annie. "But that won't treat my dizziness. I need to rest," rejected Audrey firmly. Simultaneously, she muttered deep down, "If they insist, I'll faint for all of you to see." Oh yeah, she did practice how to faint, right? Yeah, I remember that. "The etiquette teacher said that I can do it most perfectly." I think I heard something. "All right," Annie exhaled and said, "Do you need me to help you back to your room?" "There's no need. I'll clean up the laboratory first." Audrey was yearning to return immediately to consume the potion. However, she suppressed her impatience. She only returned to the laboratory entrance. Ain't no way I lost my place. Ain't no way. Did I scroll down too much? Okay, I did scroll down too far. We'll start from here. All right, Annie exhaled and said, "Do you need me to help you back to your room?" "There's no need. I'll clean up the laboratory first." Audrey was yearning to return immediately to consume the potion. Oh, she hasn't drank it yet. However, she suppressed her impatience. She only returned to the laboratory entrance when she saw Annie leave. Suddenly, she discovered that the golden retriever, Susie, who was waiting outside, was gone. Furthermore, the door to the laboratory was half opened. I forgot that... Shut up. Susie's gonna drink it. Shut up. Shut up. I already know what... Ain't no way she's gonna drink it. Oh my god. I forgot... Oh, thank god my puppy can open doors. I forgot that Susie can open doors with handles. What was that sound? Not good. Audrey heard crisp sounds coming from within. Suddenly, she came to realization... Wow, my voice kind of squeaked right there. Suddenly, she came to realization as she changed into the laboratory. All she could see was... Ain't no way, bro. All she could see was that the cups have shattered on the floor. Susie was licking the final drop of silver liquid. Audrey, ain't no way she can talk now. If she's a spectator, she's gonna talk, right? No way we're gonna have a talking dog. Audrey stood rooted at the entrance like a statue. Susie immediately sat down and looked at her owner innocently. She wagged her tail. This is so fucking cute. Oh shit, what the heck? And the seas beyond the prison. No, wait, I want to see what happened. Are we gonna have a talking puppy? Oh, this is so funny. Look, Susie immediately sat down and looked at her owner innocently. She wiped her side. "I didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't me." In the seas beyond the Pritz Harbor, there was an island perennially enveloped in storms. An ancient sailboat was docked at it. An ancient sailboat? I remember there was like ghost boats, right? Susie was like, "I'm the protect." So it's not Audrey. Susie's the protect now? An ancient sailboat was docked at its harbor. A blonde man dressed in a robe with lightning patterns was looking at Alger Wilson opposite to him. He asked perplexed, "Alger, you could have returned to the kingdom and become a captain of mandated Punisher team or a reputable..." Wow, I can't read today. Sorry, it's my first time reading in a few days. "Or you can return to the kingdom and become a captain of the mandated Punisher team or a reputable bishop. Why did you choose to voyage out into the sea and become the captain of the Blue Avenger?" Alger wore a stoic expression on his rough face. He replied solemnly, "The sea belongs to the storm. This is the Lord's kingdom. I am willing to abide by the Lord's will and monitor this area of his kingdom." All right, the blonde-haired man clenched his fist and stuck his chest. "May the storm be with you." "May the storm be with you," Alger replied with the same standard salute. He stood on the deck with a few sailors and watched his companions leave the boat, walked into the distance. "Saints? Saints, you do not understand because you do not know enough," Alger muttered silently. Meanwhile, Audrey finished her second concoction in a panic-stricken state. Seeing that the silver potion looked nothing different from before, she was nearly moved to tears. What the heck? Gulp, she quickly drank down the spectator potion. Ain't no way, now we got two spectators? Friday, a storm befell Tingen. The heavy rain pondered on the windows of every household. Inside the Blackthorn Security Company, Klein, Roseanne, and Brett sat on the sofa in the reception hall and enjoyed lunch. As there was only a kettle for boiling water, there was no way to heat up the leftovers. Klein could not eat rye bread every day or take the carriage home every day. If he did that, he would have walked from the Iron Cross Street to Watch's place in the afternoon and considered taking a carriage back. It was a waste of money, therefore he began joining Roseanne and his colleagues in eating the so-called office rations. Oh, okay. He's eating with his coworkers. That's nice. The nearby Oldwell's restaurant will punctually send a waiter at the 10:30 every day. He would ask for the orders, and after determining the quantity, he would send it over at 12:30. The food was contained in what resembled meal boxes. At 3, he would return to take their orders for dinner and take back the utensils. The rations included meat, vegetables, and bread. Although the quantity was lacking, it was barely sufficient to fill a person. A cost of meal ranged from 7 to 10 pences depending on the different premium levels. Klein would always thicken his skin and order the meal costing 7 pence. Typically, there was half a pound of wheat bread, a tiny piece of meat cooked in different ways, a ladle of thick soup with vegetables, and tiny bits of butter of margarine. We actually only have one Nighthawk here today. Roseanne said this as she delivered a spoonful of thick soup into her mouth. I heard that a case with cultist elements is going on in Golden Indus. Therefore, the police department has requested for 2 Nighthawks. Ain't no way. They're calling him up. Brett said as he put down his bread. Wait, is Brett another Nighthawk? No, he's one of the other civilian members. So Roseanne, Brett, and Klein are the 3 civilian members, right? Oh shit, are you heading out, Ranny? Yo, take care, Ranny. I'm sorry I didn't see that. No, take care, Ranny. Klein used the remaining wheat bread and dabbed it into the last bits of meat juice before stuffing it into his mouth. He did not say a word. Under his left sleeve, there was a silver chain with a topaz hanging. At that moment, knocks sounded outside. Wait. At that moment, knocks sounded outside half-closed main door. Please come in. Roseanne was taken aback as she put down her spoon. She quickly used a handkerchief to wipe her mouth and stood up. The door was pushed open as a man in a half-top hat came in. The left shoulder of his black formal suit was drenched. The sides of his hair had grayed. It's Dunn Smith, right? The sides of his hair had grayed. He put away his umbrella and said to Klein and company, "Is this the former small mercenary squad? Hey, somebody's gonna hire him?" "You can say that," answered Roseanne like clockwork. The lanky man coughed and said, "Oh, I have a mission. I have a mission request." Oh, yo, that's the end of the chapter. Okay. Yo, that was hot. Ain't no way I'm out of breath chasing you down, Ellie. Look at that. Oh my god. Okay. Just imagine if Ellie drank the spectator potion and you started talking. Because I've seen the profile picture for the I've seen the profile picture for the Lord Mystery channel, and I guess it's Susie, right? And she had glasses. Ellie, oh guys, for Halloween, we're gonna paint her in like a golden brown, like pet friendly color tone, and she's gonna be Susie. Okay, mark my words. Next year for Halloween, we're gonna have Susie right here. Okay. That'd be so good. So we're gonna have their first mission, right? So is this the first Nighthawks mission, or is this their like front job where it's their mercenary guild, right? Because remember they're technically a mercenary guild on the outside, right? Because I know they will come in for like bodyguard missions or like other stuff, right? Oh look, Ellie fell asleep. Are you sleepy? Okay, here, sit on my lap. Okay, here you go. Here, you can chill right here. Okay. Hi. Ain't no way. That was so good. I like it. This is a really good chapter so far. Ain't no way when we come back after like a 5-day break, they're already getting ready for their first mission. All right, this is going to be sick, dude. Dress as Audrey. You know what? I'll make you guys a deal. If we hit 5K subs by next year, no, I don't know. That's a long shot. Because we're almost at 1,000. So I'm not going to say we hit 1,000. 2,000 maybe. If we hit some crazy 5K goal next year, mark my words, bro. I will dress up as Audrey and I will have Ellie look like Susie for Halloween next year, man. Which pathway would you choose? I'll be honest, man. I want the sleepless pathway. Like, just imagine being up all night. You only need 4 hours of nap. You can min-max your entire schedule. Life would be so good if I can just function off a 4-hour rest. That'd be so... 2.5K? Meet me at 3. Meet me at 3. Meet me at 3. Oh, you're gonna head out, Mystery Folk? No, yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for joining in. All right. 3.5. Meet me at 3.5. If we can hit 3.5 next year, you will see me dressed as Audrey and Ellie And Ellie will be Susie. I want Sleepless Pathway, dude. If I can min-max my entire schedule, that'd be amazing, dude. And then I can have like physical peak performance, because it said that, right? They have better physical peak performance. Oh, it'd be amazing. Better dress up as Klein. You know what? Why am I saying I'll dress up as Audrey? I'll dress up as Klein. Love the music. Yeah, it's Liza P music. There's a big drawback to the Sleepless Pathway we have technically seen but not explained. I don't think I know that yet. No, I don't think I know. What is there? Sleepless? So we know they're we know they're stronger at night type. I know you guys know. I'm starting to know. If they're stronger at nighttime, maybe they're weaker in the day. Because I haven't seen Dunsmith like do his Dunsmith shenanigans as a Nighthawk, you know, in the day. Maybe you'll never be a true god. No, you have to do Audrey. Shit. What the fuck did I get myself into? Okay, 5K Audrey, 2.5K Klein and Susie. Meet me there. Can you guys meet me there? You've seen it, but it hasn't been pointed out yet. Okay. All right, man. Let's keep going, dude. I remember the details in the first volume, but now even though it's in my top 3 volumes. Oh, okay. Oh, also, dude, if I miss your guys' messages, dudes and duets. If I miss your guys' messages, I'll make sure to read them at the end of the chapter. But you guys ready? Chapter 42. Let's go, bro. Oh my goodness. Wait, hold up. I'm actually low-key kind of scared. Hold up. Before we start the chapter, I'm actually low-key scared for Susie now. I'm all excited that Susie's gonna probably talk like a real person if she becomes a Sleepless member. But what if she goes crazy? What's it called when they go rage? Or no, we need Audrey cosplay? Shit, man, hold on. What did I get myself into? I guess now we really know which pathway he go for. Yeah, bro, Romero's corrupted. Why are we corrupted? What's going on here? Check Twitch? Okay, let's check Twitch. Oh yeah, the artwork, right? Yeah. Oh, that artwork was amazing, dude. That was really good artwork. I love it. All right, you guys ready? Chapter 42. Let's go, dude. You can hang out with me. Chapter 42 is called Butler Klee. A mission request. You probably came to the wrong place. This is a security company signboard. Is really nothing but a signboard. What kind of signboard is this? So you guys have this whole secret company and you guys aren't gonna take a mission? Klein immediately held back his urge to lampoon when he heard the visitor. How he yearned for there to be a message board and he screamed for him to share his thoughts. But he soon realized that he had once asked a similar question. The captain's answer was that they could take on jobs if they were free. The money earned could be used as a funding for the team's petty cash account and bonuses for the participants. Roseanne's eyes darted around as she thought for a moment before saying, "Our security personnel are all out on missions. The fastest it will take for them to return is an hour. If your matter isn't urgent, you can consider our services." Among the 6 formal Nighthawk members, Captain Dunsmith had been invited to the cathedral by the bishop for some unknown discussion. Leonard Michel was guarding Chana's gate in his place, which he was sequence 8, right? Corpse collector. Oh, you're right. There is a corpse collector. Corpse collector. Fear. I think Ellie's licking my mic. Corpse. If it picks up, let me know. Oh wait, it says chat is disconnected. What's going on? Hey, that was a big fail. It took us 1 week and we come back and then stream crashes, but we're good. Okay. We're just gonna restart the chapter. I think we're just gonna restart the chapter. I think that's the best way to go about it. So now, we lost a few people, but maybe they'll join back if the thing is still good. Bro, your internet is gone, OG. Yeah, his internet is bad. I don't know what you guys are talking about. My internet is good. We're good. We're back. We're back. All right, chapter 42 is called Butler Klee. A mission request. You probably came to the wrong place. This securities company signboard is really nothing but a signboard. Klein immediately held back his urge to lampoon when he heard the visitor. He has yearned for there to be a message board and he screamed for him to share his thoughts. But he soon realized that he had once asked a similar question. The captain's answer was that they could take on jobs if they were free. The money earned could be useful as funding for the team's petty cash accountant and bonuses for participants. Ellie, do you want to go down? I think she wants to go down. Okay, but he soon realized that he had once asked a similar question. The captain's answer was that they could take on jobs if they were free. The money earned could be used as funding for the team's petty cash account and bonuses for the participants, correct? Roseanne's eyes darted around as she thought for a moment before saying, our security personnel are all out on missions. The fastest will take for them to return is an hour. If the matter isn't urgent, you can consider our services. Among the 6 formal Nighthawk members, Captain Dunn Smith had been invited to the cathedral by the bishop for some unknown discussion. Leonard Mitchell was guarding China's gate in his place. Corpse collector Freer and sleepless Royal Reden had already headed to the Golden Indus borough to assist the police in the investigation of a robbery case with the cultist Inklings. Sleepless Keenly White was on leave, while Midnight Poet Seeker Tron had gone to Raphael Cemetery in the northern suburb for a daily patrol. As for some of the remaining 2 Beyonders, old Neo was frail and too advanced in his years. He's not that old, right? He had not... And no, you want to hang out, Ellie? I'm sorry. I'm almost done. He had not taken any missions in a long time. Klein was still a novice and was truly inadequate in various aspects. They are all out. With one hand holding his umbrella, the lanky man's expression turned gloomy as he took off his hat. He bowed and said, sorry for intruding. Goodbye. Oh, no. Come back. It's our first mission. Come back. He turned around and walked out. He went down the stairs and left. 36 Zotland Street aimed the spattering rain and howling winds. What a bloody pity. What a bloody pity. I like that terminology. Everyone gonna wake up? It's 2 a.m. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. What a bloody pity. Roseanne watched the man left and sighed regretfully. Although she would not have gotten a share of the commission, she definitely would have been able to partake in a sumptuous meal. There was nothing we can do about it. China's Gate needed someone watching it all the time. Klein put down his cutlery in a satisfaction. Even though he did not like the soup mixture of turnips and vegetables, he still drank it clean. Don't tell me you want Brett to take the mission or yourself. Roseanne rolled her eyes and giggled. Brett won't do, but you can. Our Mr. Sear. Oh, he can do it. Our Mr. Sear. The moment she finished her sentence, she immediately realized what she had just said. She covered her mouth in shock because the door had not been fully closed. It's someone walked past outside or heard anything about Beyonders, it would be considered a leak. Oh, it's a leak. You know how they wake up, Bo? Because everybody here is on the sleepless path, which is why I want to be on it. Because then we can knock out these 24-hour streams like that. Thankfully, Captain isn't around. Roseanne looked out the door and secretly stuck her tongue out, or I'll have to go for confession again. Brett and Klein laughed out in unison as they exchanged looks before beginning to put away the cutlery. After everything was done, Klein, who did not bring his umbrella, decided to stay at Blackthorn Security Company due to the ongoing rain. He took out some newspapers and sat at the soft but bouncy sofa as he leisurely began his afternoon break. The airship route for Backland to Desi Bay is now in service. The complete anthology of the great detective Man Saying is publishing soon. An advertisement for Legolas weapons, a standard model revolver carrying 6 bullets, costs £3 and 10 solely. A double barrel gun costs 2. Ain't no way we're gonna be using double barrel guns, bro. Klein flipped through the Tinkin City honest paper when a particular piece of news suddenly caught his attention. The suspect responsible for killing Mr. Welch and Miss Naya has been caught. Ain't no way. This is a cover-up. We believe it is a much-needed reprieve for the horror that has gripped North Borough, Golden Indus Borough, and East Borough. Welch's father, his dad. Welch's father, Mr. McGovern, who is a banker, has escorted his youngest son's corpse. That's sad. Has escorted his youngest son's corpse back to the Constant City, where a grand burial will be held. Shit, man, I'm sad. After reading it a few times, Klein suddenly signed. From the looks of it, Welch's father had bought the police's explanation and did not hire a private investigator. Oh, he bought it? And did not hire a private investigator to investigate the matter. His grief from losing his youngest son can't be any greater than that of my parent who has lost her only son. And he's thinking about his family. His grief from losing his youngest son can't be any greater than that of my parents who lost their only son. In a sullen mood, Klein sat there motionless for a long time. Wait, let me let my puppy out. She's barking at me. I almost lost my place. In a sullen mood, Klein sat there motionless for a long time. He neither found it odd that he was not invited to Welch's and Naya's burial, nor did he feel depressed. Once everything calms down, I'll find a chance to offer a bouquet of flowers to their graves. Klein was about to take a nap in the break room when a knock came from the door of the reception hall again. Please come in. Roseanne, who was nodding off, suddenly jolted awake. We have an imposter among us? Who's an imposter? Who's... I don't get the eyes, man. I don't get it. I assume it's the eyes that he saw behind... Not Dunn Smith. The accountant. When he's like, oh, ignore the eyes. I assume that's what you guys are talking about, right? I get it. I'll pick up on it later. Please come in. Roseanne, who was nodding off, suddenly jolted awake. The half-closed door was pushed open again. The lanky man from before walked in once again. Can I wait here? You're mercenaries, no? Security personnel should be back soon, right? He asked sincerely, trying his best to hide his anxious expression. Sure. Please have a seat. Roseanne pointed at the sofa nearby. Klein asked out of curiosity, where did you hear about our security company? Who introduced you here? Shh, it's the cultist people. Nah, it's going to be an inside job. He had made 2 trips despite the heavy afternoon storm while still willing to wait. Yes, the Nighthawks must have easily resolved the missions that might seem very difficult to others. They must have acquired quite a reputation. The man left his umbrella outside the door as he walked to the sofa, he replied with a rueful smile. I have traveled the nearby streets and paid a visit to all of the mercenaries, security companies and private investigators. You are my only hope. The others do not have the manpower to take additional missions. To be frank, if not the waiter that delivers meals, I really did not imagine that there was another security company here. It's completely different from what I imagined. Klein was stunned. It's just funny to use eyes. No deeper meaning. Okay. I'll buy that. I'll take that. All right. I'll buy that. I remember the animator. We the mods watching. We watch. It's like, I'm watching you guys. Like, chill with the spoilers. I'm watching you guys. I'm on to you. It's completely different from what I imagined. Klein was stunned. Roseanne interjecting with a question. They are very busy. Are there that many missions? The man sat down and sighed. You are a mercenary team, no, a security company. I believe you must have heard of the armed burglary murderer at Howe. Are we fighting a murderer at Howell Street? Is our first fight against a Beyonder that just a serial killer? House Street armed burglary murderer. All right, unfortunately, I'm one of the people involved. Klein nodded with a slightly heavy heart. Yes, due to the presence of a ferocious and cruel criminal, the rich men living in the neighboring streets and even across all of Tinkin City are terrified. Apart from the increasing numbers of their security detail, they have also hired many more security personnel and private detectives. This resulted in a shortage of supply in your line of work. The tall and skinny man explained clearly. Okay. A standard chain reaction. Klein and Roseanne exchanged looks and saw the self-deprecating smile from each other's faces. The security industry had entered a golden age, yet Blackthorn Security Company was not affected anyway. They still haven't had any hires. It was a part how dismally the company was run. Of course, to a certain extent, it also proved that the success of the Nighthawks in hiding themselves. Okay, so it's technically a win-win, or maybe not. I understood that reference. I understood that reference. After waiting for another 20 plus minutes, Klein prepared to leave since the rain was coming to a stop. He planned on practicing at the shooting club. At that moment, the black-haired and green-eyed Leonard Mitchell walked out of the partition. He looked curiously at the sofa, like, was Klein sitting here? This is a client. A client. A client. Is Captain Back? Roseanne asked delightfully. Back. The lanky man was taken aback when he heard that. He had been sitting there staring at the door. How did he not discover someone's return? Roseanne's expression merely froze as she chuckled. As a security company, we don't only use the front door. Figures. The lanky man nodded in enlightenment. He was also not surprised by the term captain. Security companies were mercenary teams of small-scale mercenaries guilds. It's normal for captain to be used. Leonard did not tuck in his white shirt. His black vest was also casually draped on. He took a glance at the lanky man when he suddenly snapped his fingers and said, I am a member of the security personnel at Blackthorn. How might I address you? How may I help you? Perhaps it was because he had long heard about the unrestrained characters of mercenaries that he did not feel the anger of being humiliated. Instead, he let out a breath of relief. He watched Leonard sit down and organize his words. My name is Klee. Ooh, Big Mod is always watching. Instead of Big Brother, Big Mod is always watching. My name is Klee, a butler of Mr. Victory, a tobacco merchant. His only son, little Elliot, was kidnapped this morning. Oh, snap. We have already informed the police that the matter... Nah, I'm calling cap. The little Elliot That's part of it. That's part of the scheme to get Klein to come out. Okay, I already know we're not gonna fall for this. We have already informed that the police and the matter has been given high priority. However, Mr. Vickroy remains uneasy. He wishes to go through the channels which mercenaries security personnel have, as well as you understanding of Tengen, to investigate the case from a different angle and ensure that Elliot is rescued safely. If you are able to find where the kidnappers are hiding, Mr. Vickery will be willing to pay you £100. Oh, bro. They're gonna be able to buy. Oh, they're gonna be able to buy the house. If you had the means to successfully save young Master Elliot, they're definitely buying a house at the end of this first fight. He is willing to pay double £200. Leonard Mitchell smiled leisurely. I don't know how much money that is in American dollars, but I'll figure it out later. Leonard Mitchell smiled leisurely. Mr. Vickery seems to only wish for us to find the kidnappers' hideout. If not, he will not think that his only son is worth £100. A tobacco merchant who has close ties with the southern plantations will not just offer £200. No, Mr. Vickery is only an ordinary merchant. He's not considered wealthy. Besides, he believes that the police will be more professional when it comes to rescuing his son. Klein answered frankly. All right, no problem. Leonard snapped his fingers again. His green eyes turned their gaze on Roseanne. Wait, who's the one with the green eyes? Leonard? Yo, me and Leonard. Maybe I should dress up as Leonard because we both have green eyes. Look, we both have green eyes. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll dress up as Leonard. His green eyes turned their gaze on Roseanne. My beautiful lady. Please write up a contract. Don't always act like a poet. In fact, all you do is recite the works of others. He's a plagiarizer. Having forgotten that the presence of the client, Roseanne quipped she was used to exchange snips with Leonard. Of course, the Blackthorn security company did not really care about its clients. We don't really care about them. It was great to have them, but it was also fine not having them. Roseanne left the reception counter and entered the staff office. Soon, you know what's crazy? A golden retriever is pretty pricey. You know, if Audrey, which is living the good life, wanted a golden retriever, I'm pretty sure she pays £650. I love dude. Lies of P music goes so hard, man. I love it. I haven't even played the game. I just played the demo. But Black Friday, I'm hoping to pick up the game if it's on sale. It'd be fun. Easy Geeky will cosplay every single character in this story. You know what? I'm looking kind of down. I'm kind of down. That'd be fun. Roseanne left the reception counter and entered the staff office. Soon there were sounds of typing coming out of the office. The corners of Klein's mouth twitched a little. He found them too unprofessional and there was no standing template for a contract. This sure is tragic, and more saddening is the fact that I'm working at such an unprofessional company. The moment these thoughts arose in him, Roseanne completed a simple contract that had only a few clauses. Then Klein and Leonard Mitchell signed it. After Klein stamped it, she took the contract and returned to the counting room and got Miss Oriana to stamp it with the Blackthorn Security Company logo. Something that was actually useless. Dunn typically handed it to Orion for safekeeping. On Sunday, it would be passed to Roseanne and company. I'll wait for the good news. After receiving one copy of the contract, Klein stood up and bowed with his hat off. Leonard did not respond. He seemed to be in deep thought. He suddenly turned his head towards Klein and revealed a smile. I need your help. Klein was taken aback. I mean, you and I can finish this mission together. The corners of Leonard's mouth curved up slightly as he explained. The corners of his mouth curved up, so he smiled. I'm good at combat, shooting, climbing, sensing, and chanting. This guy is just amazing. He's a wonder boy. And taking on some support roles. But that does not include looking for people. You don't expect O'Neill to go out in such weather, right? When he said sensing, his voice was lowered to a mumble that Klein could barely hear. Alright, Klein did have the urge to attempt his new abilities, which while also feeling a little worried towards Leonard Mitchell. Let's hope it will be completed successfully. I wonder how useful my seer abilities would be. He wondered with some anticipation. We did it. We got another chapter out of the way. So now they're going on their first efficient. We need you to find a girl for it. I can dress up as Audrey. What are you talking about? I'll do it. Oh, I just put this in the video. This was only supposed to be part of the live stream, guys. Hold up. Don't out me like that. Hold up. No promises yet, dude. We can find someone to do it. To cosplay, you know what? We'll find a woman to cosplay as Audrey, and I'll be Klein or something. I got it. You got yourself a deal. Is Gigi gonna cosplay Audrey while having Roselle mustache? Yeah, bro. Hold up, look, it's coming in. Look, it's still really bad, but it's coming in. The Roselle mustache is slowly. Look, I can curve it up a little. Look, it's coming. Oh, wait, they look kind of good. Okay. But look, I'm growing this. It looks so ugly. I got this little peach fuzz right here. I hate when I eat because it goes to my lips, but we're trying to grow this out so it can go all the way here, and then we'll be able to curve it up, you know? And then we can put like some, I don't know. Isn't there like mustache gel or something to kind of like hold it together? I think it'll be good. Please no. After the stream, I will need bleach for my eyes. Wait, what'd I say? Out of context, it'll sound so funny. Have mercy. Wait. What'd I say? Nah, I gotta go to cosplay Audrey while you should be Susie. I'll be like, woof. Woof, woof. This image of Audrey with Roselle mustache is terrible. Shit, hold up. It's gonna be kind of fun, dude. Hold on, now we don't even need to do a 5K bet. Now I'll just do it for fun, dude. Audrey with a thick-ass Roselle mustache, and you guys are calling fucking Roselle freaky. Whatever the heck that means. We'll find out, but... Oh, that's funny, dude. Alright, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds next year. We'll see what the future holds. Knock on wood. Well, man, I don't even know what to say. Chapter 42 was peak, man. Where were we? Where were we before we got a little sidetracked? They're going on their first mission. They're gonna get paid 200 pounds for capturing the kid. I'm already calling sus, man. I've seen ReZero. Never trust the hostage, okay? If you know, you know. Too much corruption here. Hey, let's cut it back again, guys. Let's tone it back. We need to like tone the level back to vanilla. The taste of an easy geeky ain't bad. Purifier this comment section. Yeah, we got it. Hold up, let me cleanse. Cleanse. Okay, we've been cleansed. We're good. Okay, we're going on a mission. We're gonna get paid 200 pounds for saving the kid. I need art of this. We'll get there. You know what's funny? I want to see art where Audrey has Roselle's mustache. That'd be funny. Thick as Roselle mustache. But that was a good chapter. I like it. So now they're officially going on their first mission. Is this what the first fight leads into, or is this just gonna be like a little espionage mission? Now I'm curious, man. We'll see. What am I saying? I just gotta keep reading and we'll find out, right? Oh yes, chapter 43. Search. Ooh, that sounds exciting. All right, let's go. All right. While looking at Klein, Leonard smiled and nodded. Then, do you need anything for them? He then cooperated with old Neil and a company numerous times, so he naturally knew the divination required a medium, especially when the person being divined was not present. Okay. Klein thought for a moment before saying to Klee, I need some of Elliot's recent clothes which have not been washed or starched. It would be better if you have any accessories he used to wear on him. He tried to choose ordinary mediums, not something that would normally invite questions. But even so, Klee wore a look of puzzlement. Why? After his question, he added, I have a picture of young Master Elliot on me. Why? Because we are divining his location. Klein was momentarily at a loss for an answer. If he answered truthfully, ignoring the fact that it violated the confidentiality clause. Oh, because he can't reveal he's a seer. Confidentiality clause. Klein would likely storm out immediately and rip apart the contract while cursing. This bunch of cheats. If that works, why don't I find the most famous spirit medium in Alwa County? By the side, Leonard Mitchell chuckled and said, Mr. Klee, my partner, colleague, rears a unique pet and sense of smell is sharper than a hound's. That's why we need clothes that little Elliot wore and items he used to wear on him to aid us in finding him. As you know, clues typically bring you a general region. As for the picture, we would need it too. Both of us need to know what Elliot looks like. Okay, that makes sense. Klein accepted the reason by nodding slowly. Will you be waiting here, or will you be going with me to Mr. Vickery's residence in the city? Let's go together. It saves time, replied Klein simply. Not only was he eager to try out his abilities as a Beyonder, but he also wanted to save the child. Aw. All right, the carriage is downstairs. As Klein spoke, he took out a black and white photograph and handed it to Leonard. It was a picture of Elliot Vickery. It was a picture of Elliot Vic Roy alone. He was about 10 years old with rather long hair that nearly covered his eyes. There were obvious freckles on his face, and he did not seem to stand out. Leonard glances at it and handed it to Klein. Klein took a careful look and placed the photograph into the pocket. Then he took his cane and put on his hat. He followed the two out of Blackthorn Security Company and boarded the carriage downstairs. The carriage interior was rather spacious. It was lined with thick carpet and a tiny table to rest items on. As Klein was around, Klein and Leonard did not say a word. They quietly took in the experience of traversing the pulling roads in a carriage. The carriage driver is quite good. Leonard broke the silence after some time with praise and a smile. Yes, Klein answered perfunctorily. I read that so wrong. I'm so sorry. Klein forced a smile and said, "Your compliments are his honor. We will be there soon." As they were afraid of alerting the kidnappers, the carriage did not stop at Vickery residence. Instead, it stopped at the side of a nearby street. Klein held the umbrella and returned along. After waiting for some time, Leonard talked to Klein again. My surmise the last time was not without a goal. I was just trying to tell you that the notebook will definitely appear again. Perhaps it might be soon. That really isn't a happy surmise. Klein used his chin to gesture towards the carriage driver outside, indicating that he did not wish to discuss sensitive topics with outsiders around. Leonard whistled and turned his head to look out the window. He saw raindrops streak across the glass, leaving behind blurring marks that made the world outside a complete blur. After a while, Klee returned with a bag of items. Since he walked in a hurry, the edge of his trousers were sullied and his shirt front was slightly wet. They are clothes of young Master Elliot wore yesterday. This was the storm amulet he used to wear. Klein took it and glanced at it. He discovered it with a miniature gentleman's formal suit, a small shirt, vest, bow tie, etc. And the storm amulet was made of bronze. It was carved with symbols representing gales, and sea waves, but they did not trigger Klein's perception. I'll recount in detail the incidents leading up to young Master Elliot's kidnapping. Hopefully, it will let you find him easier. Klein sat down and described the nightmare that happened in the morning, hoping that helpers he went through great trouble to hire would be help. Klein and Leonard held no interest in specifics. All they cared about was the number of kidnappers. If anything unusual had happened, or if they had any weapons, 3 normal armed with firearms. After obtaining the desired information, they bade Klee farewell and hired a 2-wheeled light carriage. Unlike public carriages, private hire carriages were either 4-wheeled or 2-wheeled. They were charged either by time or distance. The latter was at 4 pence a kilometer in the city and 8 pence a kilometer outside. The former cost of 2 solely per hour or part. Therefore, after the first hour, there were additional charges of 6 pence every 15 minutes in inclement weather, or if the customer needed to go faster, the fare could even be higher. Oh, Klein had heard from Ozik. Oh, I remember Ozik. Wait, no, I don't remember Ozik, but I remember his name. The last time we were reading. I am a mere alt, an avatar, if you will. Oh, I understood that reference. Klein had heard from Ozik that in the capital, Backlund, these carriage drivers were famous for quoting outrageous prices. To him, taking a private carriage was quite a luxury. However, he did not need to worry about this at the moment, since Leonard had tossed 2 one-solely notes to the carriage drivers. Charging by the time after Leonard gave his instructions, he closed the carriage door. "Where are you going?" The carriage driver was delighted and puzzled as he held 2 notes. Wait a moment. Leonard cast his gaze at Klein. Klein nodded slightly and took out Elliot's clothes. He spread it out on the carriage floor and then wound the storm amulet around his cane's handles. He held a silver inland black cane and hung it straight over Elliot's clothes. He gathered the spear of light in his head, and his mind rapidly turned still. His brown eyes quickly turned deeper in a color as he entered a half-cognition state. He felt that his body's spirits turned light. He vaguely saw the world of spirits everywhere. He silently said Elliot's location. After repeating it 7 times, he released his grip on the black cane, but the cane did not fall to the ground. It remained standing. What? It remained standing in front of him, even though the carriage was shaking? What? Wait, let me read that again. After repeating it 7 times, he released his grip on the black cane, but the cane did not fall, so it just stays still. It remained standing in front of him even though the carriage was shaking. Minute, but invisible stirrings happened. What? Minute, but invisible stirrings happened around Klein, and he felt as if a pair of eyes were looking at him. Oh shit! Are these the eyes you guys were talking about? And he felt as if a pair of eyes were. Oh no, they're looking, not behind him. A pair of eyes were looking at him. Over the past few days, it's the person that's following him. Over the past few days, Klein had felt this sensation occasionally when he was out in the state of cognition or spirit vision. With a little fear, he looked at the cane with his deep black eyes. He recited once again in his heart, Elliot's location. Oh, because it has to be a statement. We have 27 people light. Wait, what the? That made no sense. I read chat and then I was reading this and I said a statement out loud. Oh wait, it dropped. We had 27 people in chat. I think that's the highest it's ever been. There was a big spoiler. I don't know what we said. Minute is subtle, small. Oh, like minute, right? Like minuscule. Okay. Elliot's location. So it has to be statements, right? It has to be like. Okay. After he finished saying that, the cane fell. Oh. After he finished saying that, the cane fell and pointed straight ahead. So he's straight ahead. Straight, Klein held the cane and said in a deep voice. His voice sounded a little ethereal, as though it could penetrate the unknown world. This was one of the divination abilities he had grasped. It's called Dowsing Rod Seeking. I'll have to write all this down. Dowsing Rod Seeking. The tool of choice had been wooden, metallic, or a mixture of both. In ordinary circumstances, he would require 2 real dowsing rods. Dowsing rods were shaped like 2 straight metal wires, tapered to an edge. He would hold on to the shorter side and turn it to the correct direction. But as the seer, Klein realized that through practice he could search for people directly using this method. He could also use his cane as a replacement for dowsing rods. The direction in which the cane fell was the direction of the item he was seeking. As for the Antigonus family notebook, he still can't find it? As for the Antigonus family notebook, Klein could not remember it at all. Without the slightest impression, there was no way for him to find it. Go straight, Leonard instructed the carriage driver loudly. We will tell you when there's a need to turn. The carriage driver did not understand why that was necessary, but a note in his pocket and the willingness of his passengers to hand over the money kept him quiet. He chose to follow the strange instructions. Okay. The carriage proceeded slowly, passing through one street after another. Midway, Klein used dowsing rods seeking to correct their direction. After the carriage circled a building once, he finally determined that Elliot... we found him? Elliot was inside. It had only been 30 minutes since the bade Klee farewell. Since they told Klee like goodbye. After sending off the cane, Klein did not continue using Elliot's clothes. Instead, he placed the cane, entwined with the storm amulet, directly onto the ground. His eyes turned dark once again as the raindrops around him suddenly spun in place. The cane fell to the front with a slant. Klein pointed... When does the anime come out? I want to watch this so badly now, dude. I need to visualize this, dude. The cane fell to the front with a slant. Klein pointed at the staircase and said, "There. At times, I really envy old Neo. Similarly, I envy you now." Upon seeing this scene, Leonard smiled with a sigh. Klein shot a glance and replied with a calm tone, "This is nothing difficult. If you are willing to learn, you will definitely be able to master it. Your perceptivity should be very high, right?" Leonard nodded and chuckled. "That's not something good." He quickened his pace and walked into the building amid the ending rain. Klein was afraid of drenching his formal suit, so he jogged in tow. The building only had 3 stories. It was similar to a unit block from Earth. The entrance to Earth floor was situated along the flight of stairs. There were only 2 units, 1 per floor. Klein used dowsing rod, seeking on both the first and second floors, but the cane remained still while pointing upward. The 2 of them quieted their footsteps and arrived at the 3rd floor. Klein once again placed the black cane on the floor. Whoosh. Are we gonna fight? A breeze blew across the stairs as his pupils changed colors. The darkness seemed like it could suck the souls of people. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Sobs seemed to sound out around... is it the kid? Klein relaxed his palm as the cane with the entwined storm amulet magically stood erect. He silently read Elliot's location again. He watched his black cane drop silently and it pointed to the right room. They should be in there. While Klein picked up his cane, he tapped his glabella twice. His vision, right? various colors saturated. As he looked at the right room, he saw all sorts of auras inside. Ain't no way he can see who's inside. 1, 2, there's 4 people. You'll be back in 15. No, you're good, bro. You're good, OG. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 kidnappers and 1 hostage. The numbers match. One of their auras is short, like it's likely Elliot. Mr. Klee said that they have 2 hunting rifles and a revolver. Klein whispered. Leonard chuckled. Let me recite a poem for them. Why be a kidnapper? Why can't you happily be a civilized person? He put down the bag with Elliot's clothes and took 2 steps forward. His expression suddenly turned serene and melancholic. His magnetic and deep voice gradually sounded. Oh, the threat of horror, the hope of crimson cries. One thing at least is certain, that this life flies. Man, this guy is spitting facts. One thing is certain, and the rest is lies. The flower that once has bloomed forever dies. Yo, dude. I almost forgot to push play, dude. I almost forgot to push play. So far, I like Leonard. This guy he has drip. He's pretty good, dude. He's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, man. First, make the Discord first so we can properly organize a day properly. Okay. Whole volume stream. We'll get there. We will get there. I know, we will get there. Hey, so far I've made my Twitter and the TikTok. Next is the Discord. MJ 24-hour stream will be crazy. I know, and I can barely read for like 2 to 3 hours. But we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. I promise you guys. One time this month and one time in December. Alright. So far, I like Leonard. This guy, at first I was like, he's a little too sassy for me, but he's growing on me. That little poem he read and like they die. Oh. Ain't no way. So like, are you telling me it's like a death note? Whatever he reads or like whenever he says a poem, that's what's gonna happen to them. Like if he does a poem and you're dead, bam, he dies. Is that what's gonna happen? I don't know. We'll see what happens, dude. I'm hyped. That was good. That was a really good chapter. I want to see what happens. Hopefully we save the kid and we get the 200 pounds so they can move in with Benson and Melissa. So they can have like a proper house. And then Leonard can join. He can get like one of the empty spare rooms and he can join. Because I already like their chemistry. It's growing on me. You're going to lose your voice by the end of it. We will see. But that'd be fun. It'll be worth it. Alright, next we are reading chapter 44. And it's called Fate. I love Fate. I played Fate Grand Order religiously for like 2.5 years. I may have wailed a little bit. I've seen almost all the mainline anime. I've seen Apocrypha. I love Fate. You know, maybe this is already getting me back into Fate. Hell, oh, this is fun. All right. Chapter 44. Oh, yeah, but here we go. Leonard's singing sounded like a lullaby. I know what song to play. There's a song called Lullaby. All right, let's keep going before I start getting sidetracked. I'm losing to plot lead to the hate Apocrypha agenda. I can see people saying that. Okay, enough about Fate. That was no, we can never say enough Fate. Fate rules, and people don't like it. It's cool. It's cool. We still love them. We respect everybody's opinion. All right, chapter 44, Fate. Leonard singing sounded like a lullaby, as it lightly resounded through the doors and into the winding wooden stairwell. Klein's mind immediately turned torpid. He felt like he saw a sunlit moonlight and serene rippling lake. His eyelids rapidly turned heavy as if he were about to fall asleep standing. Amid these indistinct sensations, he also felt a strange, formless, indifferent focus. What? Did I just read Deja Vu? He felt an indifferent focus on his back. It felt like he was the wandering spirit world himself. Are these the eyes watching him? A baffling sense of deja vu surfaced as Klein suddenly found his train of thought once again. With his strong spiritual perception and extreme familiarity with cognition, he barely escaped the influence of the midnight poem. Oh, it's like a trance. However, he remained serene and could hardly evoke any emotions. Soon, Leonard stopped singing as... What? Is this guy supposed to be like a bard? And we're thinking like D&D terminology. Leonard stopped singing as he turned his head with a smile. I'm considering asking Captain's permission to apply for a Fey Napter lute. Ain't no way. This guy's a bard. He's gonna be using like a flute. How can there not be and then what? How can there not be an accompaniment accompaniment when singing. Oh, accompaniment. Oh, okay, like how is it that he's just singing? He needs like, okay, he needs he needs an instrument woman. Hey, I'm just kidding. I can hear them asleep. He literally put them asleep. Welcome back. Welcome back, dude. The black-haired green-eyed Nighthawk with his poetic vibe took a stride forward and walked to the door that separated them from the kidnappers and hostage. He suddenly moved his shoulders and threw a punch at the door's lock. Crack. The wooden board around the lock shattered in a muffled manner. Can you guys hear my puffy? I think she's growling at me. I think she's mad I'm ignoring her. This requires precise control. Leonard turned his head and smiled. He then reached his hand into the hole and opened the door. Ellie. Okay, I found my place. Okay, now we can continue. I got a little sidetracked, but we can continue. The wooden board, crack. The wooden board around the lock shattered in a muffled manner. This requires precise control. Leonard turned his head and smiled. He then reached his hand into the hole and opened the door. Klein, who had regained consciousness, was not as confident as him. He reached under his armpit, drew his revolver, and turned the... Oh, so he's not using the blank. He turned the cylinder, making sure that he could shoot at a moment's notice. As soon as the door swung back, he saw a man sleeping on the table with a gun by his feet. Another man was rubbing his eyes in a daze while trying to stand up. Bam! Leonard slid forward and stuck the awakened kidnapper unconscious. Klein planned to enter as well when he suddenly sensed something. He turned around abruptly and faced the stairwell. Tap, tap, tap. So he's running? Footsteps were approaching from below. Oh, from the second floor. It became clear that something was a hatless man in a brown coat circling the stairwell, and his progression towards the third floor was hugging a paper bag of bread. Suddenly, he stopped. He saw a gun's barrel aiming at him with a metallic luster. What? Is there a fourth kidnapper? His pupils reflected a young man dressed in a half-top hat. Oh, this is Klein. His pupils reflected a young man No, this isn't Klein. His pupils reflected a young man dressed in a half-top hat, black formal suit with a bow tie of the same color. It also reflected the cane which rested along the rail and the dangerous revolver. Do not move. Raise your hands. 3, 2, 1. Klein's tone was a deep but relaxed. He held the revolver with both hands as he tried to imagine the man as a target from his practice. Amid the tense atmosphere, the man in the brown coat threw the bag of bread and slowly raised his hands. Sir, is this a kind of joke? Has there been a misunderstanding? He stared intensely at the finger of Klein had placed on the trigger as he forced a smile. Klein was temporarily unable to determine if he was an accomplice or a neighbor, but he did not reveal any abnormalities. He said in a deep voice, before I read his deep voice statement, Ellie, what's up? Do you want to go out? Okay, let's go out. Okay, I may have gone we got a little bit sidetracked. 20 chapters today? Yeah, we are definitely reading 20 chapters by the end of this video. I got you. Mark my words. Do not move. Raise your hand. 3, 2, 1. Klein's tone was deep but relaxed. He held the revolver with both his hands as he tried to imagine the man as a target practice. Oh, I read this. Klein was temporarily unable to determine if he was an accomplice, a neighbor, but he did not reveal any abnormalities. He said in a deep voice, do not attempt to resist. Someone will determine if it's a misunderstanding in a while. At that moment, Leonard, who had finished handling the kidnappers, walked out and noticed the man in the stairwell. He said leisurely, so the kidnappers have another accomplice responsible for buying and delivering food. Okay, yeah, there was. Upon hearing this, the man's pupils constricted as he suddenly raised his foot and kicked the bag of bread up in an attempt to block Klein's vision. Oh, she's gonna shoot. Seemingly unaffected, Klein coldly pulled the trigger like his usual training. Bang! Oh my god. Oh, stop. He did it. Blood burst out from the man's left shoulder. He tumbled to the ground and attempted to escape from the second floor. Oh, man. However, Leonard had already reached his hands towards the handrail before levering himself to jump over. With a dull thud, Leonard landed on the man from above him. The man fainted as Leonard swatted away some of the blood that had splattered on him. He looked up at Klein and chuckled. Nice shooting. I was trying to hit his legs. Oh, okay, so he wasn't trying to kill him. Right? He just aimed for the legs. I was trying to hit his legs. The corner of Klein's mouth twitched in an indescribable manner as he caught a whiff of the smell of blood. He discovered that despite not having any enhancements to his visual, auditory, or tactical senses after consuming the seer potion, he could still see obstructed objects and hear faint footsteps, allowing him to take preemptive judgment. Was this in the scope of spiritual perception? Klein nodded and thought as he watched Leonard find a sharp dagger in accomplice's possession and drag him into the room. With a gun and cane in each hand, Klein entered the kidnapper's room. They saw Elliot Vickroy jolt away from the gunshot as he straightened his body and sat up slowly from a huddled position. Leonard had secretly tied up 3 kidnappers with a rope they had used against Elliot. Bunched together, they were thrown in a corner. The lack of rope was made up by tearing their clothes. The unconscious man who had been shot in the shoulder was bandaged, but Leonard disdained getting his hands dirty, so he did not help him extract the bullet. "Who are you people?" Elliot stammered in pleasant delight when he saw the scene before him. "Yes, you guessed right. Very precise. The genuflecting Leonard answered casually. I've never read that word. "I never expected this bastard to have some humor cells in him." Klein lowered his revolver and said to Elliot, "We are mercenaries hired by your father. You can also call us security personnel." "Phew, for reals? Have I been saved?" This is a very intellectual 10-year-old, man. "Have I been saved?" Elliot said joyfully without daring to make any movements. It was apparent that he had suffered quite harshly in short few hours of being a kidnapped victim. He did not have the kind of rashness someone his age normally would have. Leonard stood up and said to Klein, "Go downstairs and find some patrolling cops. Get them to inform the tobacco merchant. I do not wish to walk out with a child and 4 idiots like a kidnapper." Klein, who was wondering about the aftermath, nodded. He put away his revolver, picked up his cane, and walked to the staircase. As he went down the stairs, he had a nagging feeling that he had forgotten something. In addition, he heard Leonard say to Elliot, "Don't be nervous. You will soon see your father, mother, and your old Butler Klee." Oh, Klee was the butler. Okay. "Why don't we play a round of Quint?" Klein held back his laughter and walked out into the streets. With the help of pedestrians, he found 2 patrolling policemen. He did not use his bandage and identification as a member of the Special Operations Department. Instead, he used his identity as a professional security company and recounted the happenings factually. As for him holding a gun, he was not worried at all. He had received an all-purpose weapon usage certificate the day before yesterday. His application was accelerated by going through internal channels. The 2 policemen exchanged looks, and one of them left to gather reinforcements and inform Vickroy family. The other policeman followed Klein to the kidnapper's room. After waiting for more than 40 minutes, Leonard signaled to Klein while the policeman was not paying attention. Klein was to sneak out of the room with him. "Trust me, heading to the police station is an extreme waste of time. Let's leave first." The Nighthawks with the poetic bearing explained with a relaxed look. He's so cool. He is such a Giga Chad, man. Since Leonard was making it clear that he would take any responsibility for any repercussions, he did not retort and followed in tow. Almost 5 minutes later, a few carriages rushed to the building where the kidnappers were. The old Butler Klee disembarked with his portly master Vickroy. Up to this moment in time, he was still in a daze. He found it incredulous that news would come so fast. It felt like a dream. Suddenly, he heard a crisp snap as he turned around. A 2-wheeled carriage drove past with its windows open. The black-haired and green-eyed Leonard had snapped his fingers again. After passing by Vickroy's carriage, Leonard closed the window, turned around, and looked at Klein. He extended his right hand and smiled. It was a pleasure working with you. I don't think we are on that good terms." Klein politely shook his head. He did not expect the kidnapping case to be resolved so quickly. All he could do was marvel at the capabilities of Beyonders. Even though he was just a half-assed Sequence 9 Beyonder, he was able to do many inconceivable things. This is a celebratory gesture of peace among our aristocrats. After a clash of swords, explained Leonard with a smile. "I know Klein had many aristocratic classmates." He looked outside the window and said with a frown, "Shouldn't we confirm with Mr. Klee, oh, the butler, right? If he believes that the police rescued Elliot, our commission will be halved. A total of 100 pounds. There was no doubt about their providing of the kidnapper's location from the meeting from before. Don't mind it. To us, money isn't that important," saying Leonard, "but we need to buy the house." Don't mind it. To us, money isn't that important," said Leonard with a shrug. It's very important to me." Klein forced a polite smile and said, "Many poets died early from poverty." Leonard chuckled. "I believe Elliot would not lie on this matter. I can tell that he still has some of his innocence left in him. However, you will not get much of the 200 pounds commission either." "What? Why not?" "How much would I get?" asked Klein immediately. How much? As the unspoken rule has always been said, half of the commission would be handed to Miss Oriana as additional funding for the team. So that only leaves 100. The remaining would be split among the members. So it'd be split 6 ways. Right? 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. I lied. So it'd be like, okay. Bro, he's getting less than 20 pounds. A pity you aren't a formal member. Wait, he gets less. You will only get about 10% of the remaining half. So he only gets 10. He's being robbed. 10 pounds? That isn't... okay, it's not that bad. That isn't bad either. I mean, from 200 pounds, Klein pretended to feel the pinch as he asked, aren't you worried that the Kip Ninja realized that they were under the influence of a beyond his powers after they wake up? They will not suspect anything. They will only believe that the weather was good at the very what? They will only believe that the weather was good and very conducive for sleeping, leading to them dozing off. They will even believe that the song existed only in their dreams. This is something we have verified before, answered Leonard very confidently. Instead, it's your demon hunting bullets that might arouse suspicion. Oh, he used a demon hunting bullet? Of course, you being a... I don't think I should use that word. Of course, you being different. I'll just say different. But I know, people have already explained in chat, since this was written before, some of the terminology is like old English terminology. Like I know some of the old terminology in The Hobbit isn't, I guess, up to par for today's standards, but we won't say that word. Of course, you being a different person who enjoys mysticism would be perfectly reasonable explanation. I see Klein was relieved. He just kept feeling like he had forgotten or overlooked something. After returning to Zotland Street, Klein did not wait for Klee's arrival. He strolled to Welch's place and took a different route home. On that way, he bought some beef and olives for dinner. The meal was enjoyable as always, with the same 3 siblings chatting idly. Oh, they're chatting it up. However, there was an additional visitor. He was a worker responsible for collecting 1 penny for the gas meter. The carriage guy? Yes. SSDV, it really is a lot. The evening grew dark as the siblings bade each other good night and returned to their rooms. Klein was sleeping soundly when he was suddenly awoken by something familiar outside. He opened the door in puzzlement and arrived outside the bedroom that no one stayed in. He pushed open the model door and saw a gray desk. There was a notebook on the table and its cover was made of hard paper. It was completely black in color. A baffling sense of deja vu arose. Oh, does he have a page of the diary? A baffling sense of deja vu arose in him as he walked over and opened the notebook. The page he flipped open to was a picture of someone dressed in a gorgeous clothes and splendid headdress. The Fool. Beneath the Fool was a line in Hermes. Everyone will die, including me. Is it his notebook? Everyone will die, including me. Horror gripped Klein's heart as he suddenly realized that the corner of the Fool's mouth was curving up. Fifth. He sat up in shock as he saw the crimson moonlight. He sat up in shock as he saw the crimson moonlight penetrate his curtains. He saw his bookshelf and the desk and the silhouette of his own bedroom. He realized that he had a nightmare. As a seer, he knew what dreams typically portend. Therefore, he began to seriously search through his recollection. Oh, this is a dream. Klein froze up when he... What? Klein froze up when he did because he knew what he had missed out on today. While he was immersed in Leonard's singing, he'd had a sense of formless and indifferent focus on his back. The eyes, right? The feeling of being observed felt different from the usual cognition or experience he'd had from using spirit vision. It gave him a sense of deja vu. According to Captain Dunn, once a feeling of deja vu arose in him, it probably means... Klein suddenly sat straight and confirmed the feeling. Yes, it's that notebook. The Antigonus family notebook. What? Oh, it's the notebook he wrote in from the beginning of the series. Wait. Is this from his dream or in real? So he went back home? Is he in his nightmare? I'm confused. This is all in his head, right? Okay, thank you. Yeah. So he's in a dream. Okay. So he's in his dream and he's picturing the notebook. He's spitting fire. He's writing nothing but fire. The Eloteam Discord link is in the Wikia. We have the official English translator in the Discord. I also post all volume summaries, author interviews, and all of the OCF related things. Oh yeah. Yeah, so after he found the kid, he went to sleep, and now he's in his nightmare. No, not the Antigonus notebook, is the book. Oh! The Antigonus family is the notebook where he wrote that. People die, including him. This is the fourth epoch notebook that went missing. There's like some correlation between the notebook and that one cultist group, where everybody somehow ends up committing suicide. He had a dream of it. He went back home and have a nightmare. When he wake up, he interprets the nightmare. Okay. With a monocle. Thanks. Oh yeah, you're right. Wait. Somebody told me the other day I was pronouncing it right. You guys told me I was pronouncing it wrong. Somebody said in British terminology I was pronouncing it right the whole time. Monocule. No problem. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. That was a good chapter. So we saved the kid. They robbed us from 200 pounds and gave us a measly 10 pounds. I know he has to be thankful for what he gets. We're thankful for what he gets. But come on, man. Imagine he got the 200 and he bought his house. Leonard don't need the money. The accountant don't need the money. Just let him buy the house for his siblings. All right, man. Let's keep going, man. Let's read. Let's keep reading the next chapter. It is getting interesting, dude. Monocle. That's what I said. Monocle. But dude, no, that's what I said. Monocle, right? Is that not what I said? Finish volume 1 by New Year's. All right, so we start the new year on volume 2. I like that. All right, you heard it here first. We will finish. All right, guys. Chapter 45, returning. Every day you stream. Hey, wait, hold up. Quick side note. I looked at my monthly summary. I did 13, 14 streams. So I was streaming on average every other day. Slowly but surely we'll get there. Yeah. The original promise was every other day, but I know some days I've missed. Like, I know I missed like 5 days because of Thanksgiving. I know I missed 5 days because of like Halloween, and then like we enter November. I was a little tired, but you know, we're making up for lost time. All right. Chapter 45, returning. Oh, wait. I should update. Chapter 45, returning. Oh, because the book is returning. We're on chapter 45, Ranny. The Antigonus family notebook is in the apartment across the... It's that close? The Antigonus family notebook is in the apartment across the kidnappers. Although it was very coincidental, Klein believed that his intuition was correct. He immediately got out of bed and rapidly changed out of the old clothes he usually wore to bed. Nah, just go in your PJs. He picked up a white shirt. Oh, dude, whoever's been watching him from the beginning, when he went into the church, is going to see that he left. And like, he's not following his routine, and he's going to follow him, right? That has to be what happens. He immediately got out of bed and rapidly changed out of the old clothes he usually wore to bed. He picked up a white shirt beside him and draped it on, quickly buttoning from top to bottom. 1, 2, 3. He suddenly realized that he was missing buttons. The left and the right sides did not seem to match. That happens to me sometime. Our careful look, Klein realized that he had made a mistake buttoning the first button, causing the shirt to wrap. He shook his head helplessly before taking a deep breath and slowly breathed out, using some of his cogitation techniques to restore his calm. After putting on his white shirt and black trousers, he barely managed to wear his armpit holster steadily. He pulled out the revolver he hid under his soft pillow and holstered it. Without time to tie a bow tie, he draped his formal suit on, and with a hat and cane in each hand, he walked to the door. After putting on his half-top hat, Klein gently twisted the door and handled and walked into the corridor. He carefully closed his bedroom's wooden door and sneaked downstairs like a thief. He used a fountain pen and paper in the living room to leave a note, informing his siblings that he had forgotten to mention that he'd had to be early for work today. The moment he was out of the door, Klein felt a cozy breeze and his attire being calmed down. Oh man, you don't know because he suppressed the swell before you read it? Okay, thank you guys. The street in front of him was dark and silent, without any pedestrians. Only the gas lamps illuminated the streets. Klein took out his pocket watch from his pocket and snapped it open. It was just 6 in the morning and the crimson moonlight had not completely faded away. However, there was a hue of sunrise over the horizon. He was just about to seek out an expensive for-hire carriage when he saw a 2-horse, 4-wheeled, trackless carriage approaching him. There are public carriages this early in the morning. Klein was puzzled as he went forward and waved it from the stop. "Good morning, sir." The carriage driver stopped the horses carefully. The ticketing officer beside him had his hand to his mouth while yawning. The Zotland stream, Klein scooped out 2 pennies from his pocket and 4 halfpences. 4 pence, the tickling officers replied without any hesitation. After paying for the ride, Klein got onto the carriage and found it empty. It exuded a clear loneliness amid the dark night. You are not the first one, said the carriage driver with a smile. The 2 brown horses widened their pace as they proceeded briskly. To be honest, I never imagined there to be a public carriage so early in the morning. Klein sat near the carriage driver and made idle chatter to divert his attention and relax his tense mind. The carriage driver said in a self-deprecating manner, from 6 in the morning to 9 at night, but all I earn is £1 a week. He works that many hours, he only gets £1 a week. Are there no breaks? Inquired Klein in bafflement. We take shifts to rest once a week. The carriage driver's tone turned heavy. The ticketing officer beside him added, we are in charge of plying the streets from 6 to 11 in the morning. Following that, we have lunch and an afternoon break. Nearing dinner, which is 6 in the evening, we replace our colleagues. Even if we do not need to rest, the 2 horses will need it. It wasn't anything like that in the past. There was an accident that should not have happened. Due to fatigue, a carriage driver lost control of his carriage and it toppled. It resulted in us having shifts. How does the carriage topple? With the horse? What? The bloodsuckers would never become this kind so suddenly, otherwise the carriage driver scuffled. Is it the people that hire them? Under the illumination of dawn, the carriage drove towards Zotland Street and picked up 7 to 8 passengers on the way. After Klein was less tense, he did not converse further. He closed his eyes and recalled the experiences from yesterday, hoping to notice if he had forgotten anything. By the time the skies were bright, when the sun was fully up, the carriage finally arrived in Zotland Street. Klein pressed his hat with his left hand and briskly jumped off the carriage. He quickly stepped into 36 Zotland Street and arrived outside Blackthorn Security Company after going up the flight of stairs. The door was still closed and had yet to open. Klein took out the ring of keys by his waist and found the corresponding brass keys and inserted it into the keyhole and twisted it. He pushed forward as the door slowly opened. He saw the black-haired, green-eyed Leonard Michel sniffing at a recently popular cigarette. To be honest, I prefer cigars. You seem to be in a rush. The poet-like Nighthawk asked in a relaxed, cozy manner. Where's Captain? Klein asked instead of answering. Leonard pointed at the partition. He's in the office. As an advanced sleepless, he only needs 2 hours. Oh, see, this is why we need to be on the sleepless path, dude. He is in the office as an advanced sleepless. He only needs 2 hours of sleep in a day. Poof, man, that's living the life, man. I believe it's a potion those fancy owners or bankers would like the most. Klein nodded and quickly passed through the partition. He saw that Dunsmith had opened the door to his office and he was standing at its entrance. What's the matter? Dressed in his black windbreaker, he held a gold inlet cane with a solemn and stern expression. The feeling of deja vu came to me. It should be the notebook. The Antigonus family notebook. Klein tried hard to make his answer clear and logical. Where was that? Dunsmith's expression did not have an obvious change. Oh my god, we have 26 people watching live. That is so cool, dude. However, Klein's intuition told him that a clear and an invisible stir had happened in him. This was possibly a flash on his spirit or a change in his emotions. Wait, quick question. Okay, we're still reading, right? Okay, we're still reading. Are we still recording? Yes, we're still recording. It's at the place Leonard and I saved the hostage yesterday. Opposite the kidnapper's room. I did not notice it then. I did not notice it back then until I had a dream and received a revelation. Klein did not conceal everything. From the looks of it, I missed out on the making of huge contributions. Leonard, who had walked to the partition, chuckled. Dunn nodded slightly as he instructed with a solemn expression. Get Kenley to replace old Neo's watch of the armory. Let old Neo and Frey come with us. Leonard stopped acting frivolously as he immediately informed Klein and Freer, who were in the Nighthawk's entertainment room. One of them was a sleepless and the other was a corpse collector. 5 minutes later, the 2-wheeled carriages that came under the jurisdiction of Nighthawks began driving down the sparse streets in the morning. Leonard wore a feather hat, a shirt, and a vest. He stood in the carriage driver, lashing out and whipped from time to time, sending out a crisp crack. Inside the carriage, Klein and Old Neo sat on the side. Facing them were Dunsmith and Freer. Oh, I think I'm right here, right? I almost forgot where I was. The corpse collector's skin was so white that it looked like it either had not been... Oh, wait, one sec. Okay, sorry if I lose my place right here. Just had to pause. We had to pause the video for a little bit, but we're back, okay? Sorry about that. The corpse collector's skin was so white it looked like it either had not been under the sun in a very long while or he had a severe blood deficiency. He looked... I already misplaced my... Okay. He looked to be in his 30s with his black hair and blue eyes. He had a high nose bridge and his lips were very thin. He had a cold and dark demeanor and had a faint smell from often touching corpses. Ooh. Repeat the situation again in detail. I'm not muted, right? Okay, we're good. Dunn adjusted the collar of his black windbreaker. Klein stroked his hands... Wait, Klein stroked the hanging topaz in his sleeve as he began from the mission commission until the dream. By the side, old Neo chuckled. Your fate seems to be entwined with the Antigonus family notebook. I never expected you to meet it in such a manner. That's right. Isn't this too much of a coincidence? Thankfully, Leonard just mentioned that there was no indication of hidden factions of mysterious powers at play from the preliminary investigations of Elliot's kidnapping. It was solely a crime motivated by money. Otherwise, I would really suspect if someone had deliberately arranged for this to happen. Klein found the situation rather curious. It was too coincidental. Dunn did not express his ideas as he was in deep thought. Likewise, corpse collector Friar maintained his silence and his black windbreaker. Only when the carriage stopped and the building mentioned by Klein was the silence broken. Let's go up. Klein, you and old Neo walk behind. Be careful, very careful. Dunn got off the carriage and pulled out a strange revolver with a clearly long and thick barrel. He stuffed it into his right pocket. Alright, Klein did not dare take point. After Leonard found someone to watch the carriage, the 5 Beyonders walked orderly into the building. With very light footsteps, they arrived at the 3rd floor. Is this the place? Leonard pointed at the apartment opposite of the kidnappers. Klein tapped his glabella twice and activated his spirit vision. In this state, his spiritual perception was enhanced again. He found the door familiar as if he had once entered it before. Yes, he nodded in affirmation. Okay, wait, so we're right here, right? Yes, he nodded in affirmation. Old Neo also activated his spirit perception after absorbing carefully. He said, there's no one inside. Are there any spiritual glows of magic? Corpse collector Friar added with his hoarse voice, there aren't any evil spirits. He could see many spiritual bodies, including evil spirits and restless... So nobody's in there. Including evil spirits and restless wraiths. Even without activating his spirit vision, Leonard took a step forward and, like yesterday, punched the door's locks. This time, not only did the surrounding wood shatter, even the door lock flew and fell noisily to the ground. Klein seemed to feel an invisible seal instantly vanish. Immediately following that, he caught a whiff of an intense stench. Corpse. A rotting corpse. Friar Free described coldly. He did not appear to suffer from nausea. Dunn reached out his black gloved right hand and pushed open the door slowly. The first thing that they saw was a chimney. For early July, there was an abnormal heat emanating from the room. What? What's going on? In front of the chimney was a rocking chair. Sitting on it was an old woman dressed in black and white. Okay, hold up. This is getting trippy. Wait, somebody said finally. Something's getting trippy. Something's going on. Her head hung low. Her body was abnormally large. Her skin was blackish green and swollen. It felt like she would explode from a simple prod, spewing a foul, rotten stench from within. As maggots and other parasites squirmed... What? I'm sorry, sorry if I screamed in your ear. As maggots and other parasites squirmed between her flesh, blood and rotting juice, or cloves and wrinkles, they appeared like points of light in spirit vision. They seemed to cling close to an extinguished darkness. Papa. The old woman's eyeballs dropped to the floor and rolled a few... The old woman's eyeballs dropped to the floor? What the fuck am I reading? The old woman's eyeballs dropped to the floor and rolled a few times, leaving behind a yellowish brown streak. I'm getting goosebumps. That's so gross. Leaving behind a yellowish brown streak. Klein felt disgusted and being unable to tolerate the putrid stench any longer, he bent over and puked. What's going on? I got chills. That's so gross. What the fuck? Bro. Yes, first serving of gore for you? Dude, hold up. I never really get goosebumps when I read anything. But because we've been reading this so I still feel it because we've been reading this so consistently, and like now I'm getting like really into it since you guys are all joining me, and it's like this beautiful fun experience. It's getting to me. Normally when I would read this stuff to myself, I'll be like, ew, that's gross. I'll be like, brother, ew, but that's it. But now I'm like, look, I'm gonna use Ellie as an example. You know how like Klein felt the eyes growing at his back? I can feel like the tingling sensation behind my back. Are you okay, Ellie? I think Ellie likes it. I don't understand the American system. Wait, what happened? What happened with the American system? This chapter is opening my appetite. Bro, that's gross. What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean it's opening up her appetite? Same energy as brother. I think it's same energy as brother. Yeah. That's nasty. Wait, does this series have body horror? I mean, I'm down. I'm down. Some of my favorite movies are body horror. Like, to this day, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Well, I mean, if you think about old movies, like for some of the newer movies, it's Hereditary. Hereditary, bro. It is like the movie doesn't rely on like cliche jump scares to get you. It's literally just body horror, or it's like subtlety, like imagery in the background, and you don't even notice it sometimes. But like once you see it, oh man, goosebumps. It's such a gross but like beautiful movie. This is Eldritch. Wait, this is Eldritch genre? Wait, what is that? Thank you? Is Eldritch a thing? Gore is mandatory? I can still feel it on my back, dude. So they don't sense anything. They don't sense evil spirits. They don't sense any spirit aura. There's a bit of body horror, actually quite a lot. Well, gore is complimentary. It definitely gets worse. Okay, I'm excited. Yeah, we're gonna be reading this in Thanksgiving and Christmas time. All right, this is exciting. Yeah, I heard that those parts are censored in China. Oh, it's censored in the Chinese version. Well, I know they're very, like, how do you say it? Like they're very, like they're really hard when it comes to censoring. Like I remember when Diablo 4 was coming out in China, they censored a lot of things for the Necromancer. Like I think even like your summons were censored. I don't know, like so much was censored. Eldritch, like Cthulhu. So I don't know, what's this Eldritch? What is that? I know, so the only thing I know is Eldritch Blast from D&D and Baldur's Gate. That's all I know. That's as far as my Eldritch terminology goes. I don't know what's Eldritch. I assume it's like Cthulhu. And I know Cthulhu, it's its own like mythos or genre, right? Cthulhu, it's all like with sea creatures. Luckily, English I can't even read. Luckily, English version will remain uncensored from what I heard. Okay. Okay, so it's like H.P. Lovecraft. You know, man, I want to read some H.P. Lovecraft now. This is exciting. That was fun, dude. Well, I've been live for about 3 hours. I know stream crashed a few times. I don't think I read for an hour and a half exactly. I think the video's only going to be an hour and a half. I'm so sorry, but Eldritch meaning horror beyond humans' comprehension. Oh, that sounds cool. Author Lovecraft started this genre of cosmic horror. Author Lovecraft started this genre of cosmic horror. Oh, this is crazy. Eldritch meaning horror beyond human. Eldritch like beyond human comprehension and cosmic horror. Oh, wait, this is what we're reading? Yo, that was a taste of it. Yeah, that's exciting. I think we are done for today. I kind of want to read more, but I am low on time. But I kind of do want to read more. No, I have to end stream in like 4 or 5 minutes. But dude, that was so cool. That was exciting. Dude, so much has happened. Wait, literally so much happened in this read through. Literally, they accepted their first mission. We need more chapters. We will have more chapters Wednesday. Well, I don't know how many chapters, because I won't be able to read my manhwa chapters Tuesday because I can't stream tomorrow. But Wednesday, I got to catch up. One more? No, I can't do one more. No, I'm sorry. I do got to end it. But dude, so much happened. We accepted our first mission. We saved the kid. We earned 10 pounds, even though they robbed us. They literally robbed us. We only got like 5%. One more? No, I can't. I know I can't do one more. I want to do one more, but I can't. I'm so sorry. Wait. Okay. I'm gonna ask you guys right now. Hold up. Okay. Wait. No. I can't do one more. It's already dark outside. I do gotta charge my phone though before I get, or we riot. God. You guys are hard. This is really hard. How long is this chapter? Okay. Wait. No, not okay. Okay, wait, yes, okay, no. Fine, we'll do one more because I love you guys. Wait, no, I don't want to. Wait, hold up, I'm not ready. Let me mentally get prepared. Okay. I feel goosebumps. I feel like this weird tingly sensation on my back. Start chanting. One more. Okay, let's do one more. Ellie, you look so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna let you out, okay? I'm gonna lock in for one more chapter. Wow, the second I said I'm gonna let you out, you turn around. Chapter 46, Portrait. Klein squatted there, vomiting and vomit. I hate it. I hate anything that's to do with vomit. It grosses me out. Klein squatted there, vomiting involuntarily. He was soon done with his puking since he did not eat breakfast. At that moment, a tin-colored square flask that looked like a cigarette box appeared in front of him. The mouth, which had lost its stopper, emitted a mixture of smell akin to tobacco, disinfect, and mint leaves. It cleared up Klein's nose and rejuvenated him. The pungent smell continued to linger, but Klein no longer felt nauseous. He soon stopped vomiting. He traced the tiny flask up and saw a pale hand that did not seem like it belonged to a member. What? He traced the tiny flask up and saw a pale hand that did not seem to belong to a member of the living. He saw the mouth of a black windbreaker sleeve and saw a corpse collector Freer with his cold and dark bearings. Thank you, Klein recovered completely, and with his hands on his knees, he stood back up. Friar nodded without any expression. It'll be fine once you are used to it. He put back the flask stopper and put it into his pocket and turned around. Walking to a highly decomposed corpse without gloves, he began examining the old woman. As for Dunn, Smith, and Leonard Mitchell, they paced slowly around the room, occasionally touching the table surfaces and newspapers. Old Neil pinched his nose and stood outside the door, grumbling in a muffled voice. Seriously, gross. I'm going to request for additional pay this month. Dunn turned his head over and touched the walls beside him. Chimney with his gloved right hand. Why does he always have gloves? He has to be hiding something, right? While doing so, he asked Klein, does this place not look familiar? Klein held his breath and constructed the silver pocket watch in his mind to calm down. With him already in his spirit vision statement, he immediately felt different. A scene that came from the deepest recesses of his memories flashed past his eyes. Chimney, rocking chair, table, newspapers, and rusty nails of the door. The tin can inland was silver. The scenes were dark and dull, like a documentary from Earth. However, it was even more blurry and illusionary. The scene quickly stacked against what Klein was seeing. The feeling... Oh, wow, I'm losing my voice. The feelings of deja vu and having been here before presented themselves clearly. An illusionary, ethereal scream seemed to pass through invisible walls. Hornices Phlegria. Oh, I remember this for. Hornices Phlegria. It feels a little familiar. Klein answered honestly while his brain felt a stabbing pain. Thankfully, he quickly tapped his globea twice. The Hornices mountain range that appeared in original Klein's diary. This is content that was deciphered from the Antigonus family's notebook. The murmurs were very similar to one of the previous ones. It involved the world's Hornices. Is this a form of enticement? Klein was gripped by shock as he did not dare think deeper. Afraid that he would place himself on the trajectory of losing control, Dunn nodded slightly and walked to a cupboard. He suddenly reached out his hand and pulled open its wooden door. The bread inside was moldy, and there were about 7 gray, stiff, dead rats. Leonard, go downstairs to give patrolling cops and explain the situation here, instructed Dunn. All right, Leonard turned and left the apartment. Following that, Dunn opened the door to 2 other bedrooms and did a careful search. After being certain that there were no clues as well as any size of the Antigonus family notebook, Ferrer also stood up. He wiped his hands with a white handkerchief he brought along with him and said, the time of death was more than 5 days ago. There was no external injuries, nor are there any clear signs that it was a result of Beyonder's powers. The exact cause of death will require a post-mortem. Did you discover anything? Dunn turned to look at old Neil and Klein. Oh, man. The two who were no longer in spirit vision state shocked their hands in unison. Apart from the corpse, everything else is normal. Actually, no. There was an invisible energy sealing the apartment in the beginning. As you know, there will usually be similar processes when we use ritualistic magic. O'Neill thought for a few seconds before adding, Dunn was just about to say something when he looked outside the door. A few seconds later, Klein and O'Neill sensed something and turned to look at the stairwell. Shut up, is it like a ghost? A few seconds later, faint footsteps grew louder as Leonard walked up with a policeman. The policeman's expression changed once he caught the noxious smell. Man, he immediately cooperated with his colleagues from the Special Operations Department and began knocking on the doors of the residents of the second floor to gain an understanding of the situation on the third floor. Moments later, the corporal with his 2 silver chevrons looked at the corpse on the rocking chair. Katie Stephanie Bieber, between 55 and 60 years old, widow, has rented this apartment with her son, Ray Bieber, for more than 10 years. Her husband was formerly a gem artisan. Her son is about 30 years old and is single. He inherited his father's trade and earns about £1.15 solely a week. He gets paid more than Klein? According to the neighbors, they have not seen them in more than a week. Before the policeman continued, Klein already knew the critical point that followed. Missing to Bieber's besides, it was unknown where Ray Bieber had gone to. The ancient notebook could very well be on him. Oh, wait, what? I thought it was in there. Do you have a picture of Ray Bieber? Dunn looked at the police officer. He was acting as the role of a high-ranking inspector. However, it was not really acting since he was indeed a high-ranking inspector of the police department's roster. His salary and various allowances were also paid according to his rank. Of course, it did not include his salary from the church. The police officer shook his head nervously and said, I'm not sure. I'll have to return to the station and search for it. It is not typical for us to have pictures of every single person. Got it. Continue questioning the residents on the first floor. Asked them in detail. Dunn gave the order. As he watched the police officer leave, he closed the door and turned to Old Neil. I'll leave the rest up to you. If not, we will have to make all the residents sleep and obtain Ray Bieber's looks. Yeah, I don't really trust sketches based on verbal descriptions. Old Neil nodded. He took out a few thumb-sized bottles from a pocket inside a black classic robe and scattered the liquids in a particular order. What? He's just spreading them? Immediately following that, he pulled out a clump of powder and scattered it in a circle around him. Strangely, a biting smell spread, and it was not influenced by the nauseating smells in the room. Klein also suddenly noticed that there was an invisible force field around him. It separated him from the environment and everyone else. It was like the room in its previous state. What? So he's seeing what it looked like before? Old Neil half closed his eyes as his lips mumbled a soft and indescribable incantation. Without being prepared, Klein vaguely heard the words, Goddess, give me strength. We look forward to the protection of the night. Huh. A sudden wind tore through the windows and blew up the powder. Klein's heart quaked suddenly as he felt goosebumps all over him. He found it difficult to describe a terrifying smell that made him afraid of looking directly spread rapidly. He was confused as he tensed up, unable to relax. It felt as though he had plunged into a state similar to what one would have after working on a highly advanced mathematical problem. Suddenly, Old Neil's eyes opened, his eyes pitch black. He took out a fountain pen from his pocket and began drawing on a piece of scrap paper on the table. He was so fast that his entire body was trembling. Klein focused his gaze and saw a face with recessed eyes and a tall nose bridge rapidly appear. Is that him? When the natural curly short hair was done, Old Neil wrote a single line beneath the portrait. Black hair. Oh, he's drawing the person. Black hair, deep blue eyes. Oh, he's doing the sun. He's drawing the sun. Left of his mouth is a fully ceramic tooth implant, Pada. The fountain pen in Old Neil's hand fell onto the paper and his body convulsed a few times. This is the image of Ray Bieber according to what left in the room. Old Neil whispered as the color of his eyes restored rapidly. Then he turned back to his original spot and slowly circled it. The invisible force field that isolated things immediately dissipated in the form of a breeze. Praise the lady, Old Neil tapped his chest in 4 spots, forming the shape of the crimson moon. Klein's thought nervous relaxed as he made more acute observations. He discovered that there was nothing special about Ray Bieber's facial features. He had a relatively mild bearing. The only thing that was his philanthropium sagged clearly. I'll try using a dowsing rod. Seeking, he picked up the portrait and found the male clothes in the bedroom and spread them onto the ground. Dunn, Leonard, and Old Neil did not stop him as they watched the place. The black cane above the clothes and portrait. Friar was as silent as always. Klein is the male, right? He's a male character? Right? Klein's eyes turned from brown to black as he finished his recitation only to release his grip. The black cane stood silently like it was embedded in the ground. Ray Bieber's location, Klein silently repeated to himself again. With the sound of humbling wind, the cane fell down but kept changing directions while falling. Finally, it began spinning in slight circles. Without any external help, the black cane stood stably again. Klein repeated it a few times with the same outcome. All he could do was shake his head at Dunn and O'Neill. A strange power was interfering with his divination. Dunn took off his black gloves and sat to Leonard and Klein. Take Ray Bieber's portrait and inquire the residence for a final confirmation. Following that, we will issue a warrant of arrest against him for the murder of his mom. Oh, he killed his mom? Yo, good night, OG. Yo, good night, good night. All right, Klein held his cane. Oh, we'll see you guys soon, dude. Yeah, for sure. Klein held his cane and bent down to pick the portrait. After the neighbors confirmed that the portrait was indeed Ray Bieber, Dunn instructed Leonard and the police officer to finish the procedures at the station. He and Fryer headed to a few bars in Tinkin City to seek help. I'll watch the VOD. I got you, bro. Oh my god, it's so late for you. I'm so sorry. To help via... I'm so sorry, bro. No, that's alright. You'll watch them in the morning, dude. They should be up right away. I got you. I just got to stitch 2 videos together since the stream crashed midstream. Klein and O'Neill returned to Blackthorn Security Company on a public carriage. It was not even 8 by the time they arrived. Roseanne had not even clocked in. After closing the door, Klein cocked his head at O'Neill and hopped to learn the answers to his question. Asked him, why would I send the Antiquinous family notebook to Ray Bieber's home? This was completely in a different direction from the Iron Cross Street where so they still think it was Klein that handed it off to him, right? To Ray? O'Neill walked to the sofa and chuckled. Isn't that obvious? Isn't that obvious? Who knows what powers inside the notebook you invoked? Maybe you did some described ritual out of curiosity and ended up provoking a strange existence that you should not have. The motive of this existence was to have the notebook sent to Ray Bieber and sever all clues to prevent anyone from discovering it. Therefore, apart from you who were selected, Welch and Niall committed suicide. Regarding you, to be frank, I still have no idea how you survived. I would like to know too. Klein sat down as well as he deliberately replied with a wry smile. I've also thought of the guesses you have of proceedings. However, there's one thing I don't understand. Why did I have to hand the notebook to Ray Bieber? O'Neill shrugged and said, perhaps his life path number 1 matches the requirements, or maybe he's one of the last remaining descendants of the Antigonus family. Oh. And so it goes on to the descendants. In short, there are too many possibilities, and why the notebook was sold to Tinkin City would have similar reasons. I do not think it's because he's a descendant. Klein suddenly felt enlightened before he signed. Unfortunately, I did not discover immediately that Ray Bieber and that the notebook had vanished. O'Neill laughed. This is something that Dunn has to worry about. As for you, it's something good. Why do you say? Klein frowned in puzzlement. We did it. But wait, dude. Wait, let me get that result mustache in position. We did it, dude. We knocked out another chapter, dude. We just read chapter 46. Thanks for streaming. Yo, this was so fun. So much happened in these 6 chapters. We literally did a mission. We found the clue to the Antigonus family epoch. I was going to say epoch. To the notebook that's tied to the 4th epoch. It's tied to this cultist member. I assume once they find the Mr. Bieber, Justin Bieber, I assume once we find Justin Bieber... Oh, I'm kidding. Once we find Ray, I assume the person that was stalking Klein originally is going to surface again. And I'm speculating he is going to be the first fight. The one that's been following him since the beginning, like 10, 15 chapters ago, like before he became a Beyonder. The one that's been following him since the beginning to see where the notebook leads. Whenever they find Ray and they try and get Ray, probably Ray is another victim of the notebook. Once we find Ray, the person that's been following him from the beginning is going to jump in to take the notebook, and that's when we're going to get our first fight. I bet. And that's when I'm going to have the Klein outfit ready. Trust me. I'll have the Klein outfit ready by the first fight. That's crazy. We read 6 chapters. We did 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 40. Yeah, we did 6 chapters. We did 46 chapters. That was so fun, dude. Dude, it means a lot to me that you guys are joining me, man. It means a lot to me that you guys are joining me on this stream. What the fuck? We hit 709. We hit the 709 subs. Literally, we're gonna track down Justin Bieber. Holy shit, dude. Once we find Ray's and be like, baby, 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 don't take the book, please, no, baby. He's gonna start singing, baby, dude. He cooked. We're cooking, dude. Once we find Justin Bieber's gonna hand out his lyrics for his next song to Klein, because, you know, Ray was a victim of the notebook just like Klein allegedly was. And that's when the person, I don't think he's from the Church of Evernight. He has to be like part of the Machinery Guild. No, not the Machinery. What am I saying? He's part of the Cultist group. All the celebrity cameos are amazing. I love it. So far, Justin Bieber has made a cameo. And then, who's a famous poet? I don't know. We have to find a famous poet. That's going to be Leonard. All the celebrity... Dude, this is fun, dude. This is cool. I love it. It's so much fun reading with you guys. All right, man. We're going to end the stream there. We're going to be back. Not tomorrow. But we will be back in 2 days. So it would be... We'll be back Wednesday. Same time. But I think Wednesday... We're going to split it up. It's going to be a short loaded mystery stream. Because we're going to be reading some... We're going to get some manhwa out the way. That I've been falling behind on. Yeah, now it's time to sleep. Yeah, all you guys go get your beauty sleep. Go recover. Or, you know, go take your 4-hour nap. Unless you're on the high pathway, then you only need 2 hours, you know. But we'll be good. We'll be back in 2 days. We'll be back in 48 hours. And I think we'll be fun. I think it'll be fun, man. We're almost at 710 subs. That's crazy. All right, man. I love you guys. This is fun. I will see you guys all very, very soon. Have a beautiful day. Good night. Good morning, wherever you live. Have a beautiful day. Tell your loved ones you love them. Tell your enemies you love them. Or you can tell your enemies to follow me, Easy Geeky. So far, the only socials we have is TikTok, Twitter, or X. We have a Twitch that's not working. That's not letting me multi-stream for whatever reason. We're going to work on it. And I'll see you guys very soon. All right, guys. Peace. Have a beautiful day or morning. All right. Later, guys.